News starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Janae Noel. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, a serving police superintendent has been granted immunity and is expected to testify for the prosecution in a high-profile armored car heist case from 2023. Our Jose Etienne joining me live in studio tonight with the latest on this. Jose?
Janae, a report in the Nassau Guardian last Friday indicates that Police Superintendent Torrico Sweeting, who serves as second in command at the Grove Police Station, has been granted immunity and is expected to serve as a key witness for the prosecution in the upcoming bribery trial stemming from the November 2023 $1.475 million armored car heist. The newspaper reports that Sweeting admitted to receiving $10,000 from funds connected to the theft. That report also outlines that he is expected to testify against former Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson, Attorney Bajon Ferguson, and Sergeant D'Angelo Roll. Prosecutors allege that Johnson, while heading the Criminal Investigation Department, solicited a bribe from reputed Fox Hill gang leader Michael Fox Jr., a suspect in the heist, in exchange for avoiding prosecution. Johnson, Ferguson, and Roll have elected to be tried by judge alone. That trial is set for next month. Following the Guardian's report, Eyewitness News sought clarification from National Security Minister Wayne Munro regarding the decision to grant immunity. Munro explained that under the law, immunity may be offered in order to secure evidence in a case.
I don't follow the actual prosecution of matters. That's a matter for the office of the DPP that was set up as independent. It is possible for immunity to be granted in order to get evidence from somebody.
Munro also stressed that the decision to offer immunity isn't made by police.
It is something that the prosecutors decide and not the investigating officers. So that would have been a decision by the office of the DPP.
Now, Eyewitness News also reached out to Police Commissioner Shanton Knowles regarding Superintendent Sweeting's status within the force. Those questions were referred to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. The DPP declined to comment, citing the matter as ongoing. Now, no information has been provided regarding any internal police review or administrative action. The 2023 heist case has also been referenced in connection with multiple unsolved murders, 3 of them to be exact, involving individuals previously identified as suspects. All accused in this matter are presumed innocent until proven guilty. Back to you, Janelle.
Thanks so much, our Jose Etienne, joining us live in studio tonight. Meantime, the Doors Johnson High School on lockdown today after a brawl reportedly broke out during the recess time. This according to parents who reported the matter to Eyewitness News out of concern. Now, they reported that their children told them that a massive fight broke out, and it was also caught on camera. Video of that altercation going viral on social media today. The footage showing a group of male students attacking another male student to the ground, throwing punches and kicks, while another slamming a chair on top of him before the reported victim gets up and runs away. The mayhem continuing, showing another fight. 3 males seen in a scuffle, one of them beating a student in the face with a rock. Sources at the school revealing to Eyewitness News that police were called to the campus to gain control of the matter as students were separated and school officials and authorities took control of the environment. Attempts to reach officials and school officials from the Ministry of Education were unsuccessful up until news time. Well, the business associate of FEB candidate for Mount Moriah and former National Security Minister Marvin Dames is facing a possible life sentence in the United States after authorities allege he was caught with some 200 kilos of cocaine off the coast of Florida. Malcolm Goodman was indicted Thursday on charges of possession with intent to distribute and importation of a controlled substance, both offenses carrying a maximum sentence of 10 years, a maximum of life rather. U.S. authorities say Goodman was apprehended on Friday, the 11th of February, about 4 nautical miles off of Fort Lauderdale, on board a 45-foot vessel named the Real Experience. Court documents include an affidavit from a U.S. Department of Homeland Security officer stating that before being advised of his Miranda rights, Goodman spontaneously said, quote, "I'm going to eat it," end quote, and further stated that he was guilty and solely responsible for the narcotics. Eyewitness News previously reported that the vessel is registered to Real Experience Charters, a company associated with Dames and his wife. U.S. authorities are also seeking to forfeit that vessel. Goodman making his initial court appearance on February 12th, but did not enter a plea. Dames has denied any knowledge or involvement of the alleged criminal activity. He says he will cooperate with authorities, adding that he has no intent of bowing out of this political race. On to some other news tonight. A grieving family is blaming what they describe as failing infrastructure and limited medical resources for the death of their loved ones. They tell our Lyndon Ritchie Jr. tonight that systemic gaps, not just circumstance, contributed to the tragedy and that those responsible must be held accountable.
When is my dad supposed to rest in peace, actually? Because he's not resting in peace. He really isn't.
How much more do we have to endure as a family?
Stalled communication, lingering questions, and a family demanding answers. That is the reality for the Roll sisters after their 76-year-old father, Alston Roll, died in Exuma Thursday morning following medical complications at home. What followed, they say, was a series of failures, from an ambulance that did not arrive to an emergency flight that could not land to his body being airlifted to Nassau without their knowledge. And now, 1 week later, his remains still at the Princess Margaret Hospital morgue. His youngest daughter, Anisha Roll, says the ordeal began with a call to 911.
The ambulance has to come from one end of the island, but the driver has to come from one end of the island, get to the clinic to retrieve the ambulance, and then come to where we were. And as I told her, that's unacceptable. He was foaming from the mouth, and his breathing sounded very strange.
Roll says her father was alert while family members transported him by private vehicle to the local clinic. She alleges that despite calling ahead, staff were not prepared for his arrival. During that visit, the family was told an emergency airlift to Nassau would be necessary due to respiratory distress. Hope, they say, turned into frustration.
So we can hear the plane. So we're saying, okay, the plane is about to land. We're just sitting there waiting. What's happening? Why isn't the plane landing?
The family claims the emergency flight circled the Exuma International Airport multiple times because runway lights failed to illuminate, forcing the aircraft to return to Nassau. Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper has announced an independent investigation into the incident. Officials, the family says, promised the flight would return at dawn, but before that could happen, their father was found unresponsive in the clinic just after 4 a.m.
I get a call at about 6:18 a.m. This is now Thursday morning. And they just said, is this Mr. Roll's daughter? I said, yes, it is. They said, we need you to come to the clinic now. I just knew it. I just felt it.
The family says they were informed an autopsy would not be required, yet his body was flown to Nassau that same evening without their consent or prior notice. They learned a day later that his remains were at the Princess Margaret Hospital morgue, where they remain. Now grief is turning into demands for accountability.
It has still been one slap in the face after the other. Like, when are we are all that he had left, and when are we supposed to grieve?
Lyndon Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, a troubling spike in child sexual assault cases has officials sounding the alarm today. They say the figures are deeply concerning and require immediate action. Our Danielle Dean has the details tonight.
Are minors. Bahamas Crisis Center Administrator Cleopatra Christie says the numbers for the year are alarming.
It's a lot. That's 26 children that have come to us, that have been referred directly to us, and all in reference to sexual offenses.
And officials are afraid this only reflects a fraction of overall cases. Social Services Minister Miles LaRota says if history is any indicator, the reported 26 just scratches the surface.
No child or no female should live in a society in 2026 where they're subjected to violence of any form. But history have told us that those who actually come forward represent a small percentage. And so we should be concerned if it's 29, and we should hope and pray that that number reflects more of the reality than what history have shown.
Outside of a safe house for women and children established by international organization Links Incorporated, he says one of the government's 2 new safe houses is finished being built.
One is under construction The other one is already completed. It's just waiting for furniture. We have already sent out quotes for security of it, and so we're just waiting for these devices to come.
These comments came at a National Women's Empowerment Symposium that welcomed discussion on gender-based violence and increasing efforts to create spaces victims can feel safe in. Officials say a major goal moving forward is to match reported cases of gender-based violence with reality, leaving no woman suffering in silence. Danielle Dean, Eyewitness News.
Well, 55-year-old Robert Ramming charged in the magistrate's court with allegedly raping a 31-year-old woman he reportedly picked up on his motorcycle and took to a residence. Prosecutors alleging that Ramming picked the woman up from a business establishment in the Centerville area, took her to a home in southern New Providence. He was not required to enter a plea to the charges and heard that his case will proceed by way of a voluntary bill of indictment. He was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services until May 29th. A man is also accused of indecently assaulting an 18-year-old girl. Was granted bail yesterday. Prosecutors alleging that 34-year-old Craig Brown inappropriately touched an 18-year-old woman on February 16th here in New Providence. He pleaded not guilty to indecent assault before Magistrate Abigail Farrington. He was granted bail in the amount of $7,000 with one or two sureties. He was warned not to interfere with any witnesses or his bail will be revoked. He returns to court on May 6. Meantime, a 34-year-old woman has been granted a conditional discharge after she admitted she stabbed and assaulted her husband during a domestic dispute last week. According to reports, India Thompson pleaded guilty to 2 counts of assault with a dangerous instrument and causing harm before Magistrate Shaka Seville. Prosecutors say the incident occurring on February 5th after Thompson reportedly discovered text messages that led her to believe that her husband was cheating on her. Court documents reveal that she stabbed and injured the complainant and also assaulted him with a bat. After expressing remorse, Thompson was granted a conditional discharge, the magistrate ordering her to be of good behavior for 6 months and also to complete anger management classes. Failure to comply will result in a 3-month prison sentence. Well, with 2 weeks until Concord, Wilshire says it will formally announce its commencement of development and construction activities at the Grand Lucayan property. The Department of Labor is preparing to assist the 279 employees recently released from that resort. Director of Investments Felicia Woods-Hanna confirming the completion of the termination and said the Department of Labor is expected to engage displaced workers within the coming weeks with job search support and skills development.
It is important to note that while job placement is based on qualifications, representatives from the Department of Labor, led by Director Thompson and Executive Manager Quentin LaRota, are placing a special focus on ensuring this transitional period is managed fairly and accurately. Therefore, I encourage those former employees to reach out to the Department of Labor's office in Freeport, Grand Bahama at telephone 426-2926 for assistance. Please note that this is a direct contact, which will be answered by Labor Officer Princess Flowers, who will assist with the process and report directly to Ms. LaRota.
She asserted that the move is intended to work out for the best of the Grand Bahamian people in the long run.
Restructuring at the Grand Lucayan is a part of a wider effort to put the property on a sound footing, attract sustainable investments, and create much deserving long-term jobs and business opportunities for the people of Grand Bahama. As Director of Investments, I want to assure residents that while this moment is difficult for some families, our focus remains firmly on unlocking the new potential of the island and securing a stronger economic future for the residents of Grand Bahama.
In a medical office center, they've been ordered to pay more than $186,000 in damages to a mother whose baby died during labor at the Princess Margaret Hospital. In a ruling signed February 25th of this year, Registrar Ronaldo Toot awarded Lindisha Culmer Hanna the funds against Dr. Leslie Culmer, an ACL medical office. The court previously found the defendants breached their duty of care during both prenatal management and delivery back in 2012 when the baby was born without a heartbeat. In assessing the damages, the court determined that critical steps to manage a known childbirth emergency were not taken. The award includes $150,000 for pain and suffering, along with special damages. The court also granting $20,000 in aggravated damages after finding that the doctor blamed the mother for the child's death hours after the stillbirth. The defendants did not attend the damages hearing. While concerns about police investigating police seemingly being addressed by the head of Complaints and Corruptions Unit, our Janelle Longley has the details tonight.
Everybody knows somebody, or everybody know everybody. Yes. The fact of the matter is, it has to be done. An investigation has to be carried out.
Don't trust the police. It's been a common notion for some time among members of the public, some afraid to take the real issues to the men and women in blue, specifically when it involves their fellow officers. Head of the Complaints and Corruptions Unit of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Superintendent Kemuel Knowles, defending the record of his team in such investigations.
And in most recent times, within the past month, officers went before the courts because of complaint that was made against them, and some of them are now serving prison sentences.
Still, admitting that public mistrust within the force has been an issue for some time, Knowles said that the mistrust has been brewing from both sides of the divide.
Many police officers whom matters arise or complaints came before the complaints board, they were tried after an investigation. They were put before the courts, many of whom were exonerated for lack of evidence.
He explained while appearing on a new RBPF digital talk show that there have been instances that complaints from members of the public stemmed from basic non-cooperation.
The most simplest is failing to give your name and address when asked to do so by a police officer.
But there are more serious cases of members of the force being investigated that have left the public feeling skeptical. Some major enough to hit headlines include Chief Michael Johnson, which began in 2024 regarding his alleged involvement in major criminal activity, or the U.S. indictment involving Chief Elvis Curtis and another sergeant officer, just to name a few. While the incidents were not specifically mentioned in the show, he had this to say regarding the question of police investigating police.
We are a disciplined organization, and those that do not do or stray away from discipline or act in a manner that would bring discredit on the Royal Bahamas Police Force, this organization must uphold the integrity.
Janelle Longley, Eyewitness News.
Meantime, Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson's responding to opposition criticism to a voter registration drive that was held here at the ILTV studios a week ago, noting that the department did receive a request to host a drive that was subsequently authorized.
And we facilitate that request. But we don't go to any political office to have any registration drive. And that is clear. Candidates might invite us to come to do registration drive, but they'll have to find a neutral spot or find some spot that is the public have access to, not just their political parties.
Coalition of Independents leader Lincoln Bain meeting with members of the Trade Union Congress yesterday to discuss their plans for the labor movement if elected as the next government. Bain, while not wanting to disclose too much of their conversation with union heads, said that one of the big ticket items that landed them a standing ovation was their plan to give a cabinet appointment to a union rep.
No more will the government be able to flim-flam them and not fulfill promises. They will be in the know, and they will have a vote on every decision made in this country. We are going to commit to appointing through the Senate a head, and they're going to vote and determine which one of them it's going to be, because they have several umbrella unions. I don't think you can get any more empowered than that.
Now, this meeting was only with the Trade Union Congress, which represents several union bodies, including nurses, doctors, and immigration, customs, and allied workers. Now, Bain says his team will meet with all union bodies over the next few weeks to ensure that they're all on one accord.
We think it's the beginning of a new direction for workers in this country. Moving forward, it's going to be about defending the workers at all costs. We know that that is our reputation. We've been doing it before we were in office, and we're going to continue to do it. But it is also about empowering the workers of this country. The days of slavery is over, and it's time for Bahamians to evolve into the owners of this country, and we're going to start with the workers of this country. And so that is the direction that the discourse is taking.
A 15% tariff imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump and growing global trade tensions, the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce says this should be, quote, a wake-up call for the Bahamas to reduce its reliance on the U.S. market. Eyewitness News turning to social media, posing the question tonight, is the Bahamas too dependent on the U.S. for trade? 86% of participants voting yes, we need urgently to diversify. 2% voting somewhat, but it's difficult to avoid. 11% voting no. The U.S. remains our strongest partner. 1% voting unsure. Now be sure to continue to participate in our daily digital polls as your voice matters tonight. Meantime, a chapter is about to close for a local church leader weeks out of his official departure. He's reflecting on his 9-year tenure while not mincing words on how he felt the church's voice was dismissed on some critical issues. Our Jose Etienne takes it from here.
After nearly a decade at the helm of the Bahamas Christian Council, Bishop Delton Fernandez is preparing to step down in April, but not without airing frustrations over what he describes as a betrayal during the passage of the marijuana bill.
I really wish the marijuana bill was not passed, and I would use the word snuck under. This bill is detrimental to the future of our Bahamas. In retrospect, I believe that some of the bill legalizes marijuana.
The council had been vocal in its opposition to the legislation, which establishes a regulated framework for cannabis use for medical and religious purposes. Fernandez says while governments of the day sometimes consult with the council on national matters, other times they move ahead without its input, a reality, he says, underscores who ultimately holds the final say.
As a Christian council, we are sent bills and ask for our input and usually consultation. Sometimes they don't do it, sometimes they do it.
Still, he points to moments where the council's lobbying proved effective.
We were able to stand down this Justice of the Peace bill because there's no consultation. There are no things that are being consulted. There are a myriad of bills that we really need the church. And one of the things I was able to express to the team, every leader had a profession before they came to the Christian Council, before they became pastor. We bring a level of not only spirituality, but we know the fields that we're talking about.
During his tenure, the broader debate over the role of the church in state affairs has continued, with critics arguing that successive administrations have at times delayed action on contentious issues, including marital rape, out of deference to clergy consensus. However, there have been exceptions, such as when the former Christie administration moved forward with legalizing gaming despite strong church opposition. Fernandez maintains that the church and state should not be at odds.
There is a hand and glove relationship that needs to take place. Like I said, every leader has their own spirit, and every leader has their kitchen cabinet, even as it relates to church. Every leader comes in with a spiritual advisor. I believe we could do better, because sometimes it's just a placation. They just want to know that they tick the box, that they met with us. I believe that at some point we have to get a better relationship with church and state, because we are all pillars of the society. If you don't respect me, how can you expect others to respect you?
Fernandez will demit office when the council holds elections in April. The council's constitution prevents him from seeking another term, clearing the way for new leadership at the upcoming vote. Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
While as government prepares to borrow over $1.8 million for the transformation of the International Bazaar in Grand Bahama into an Afro-Caribbean market, officials have been unable to confirm what percentage of the new project will be Bahamian-owned. According to Minister for Grand Bahama Ginger Moxie, the $1.8 million loan the government is currently seeking is only a project preparation facility, and the terms for the project's completion are still being negotiated. The Davis administration is hoping to partner with the bank to make the project possible.
And so that's why we're ensuring that it happens, and we have Afrexim Bank involved, because it isn't, again, just about this 1.86 million. It's about that relationship, what they bring to the table, the financing that will come with it, the additional investors that will come with it, and that's what it's about. It's not about the 1.86 itself, but it's more about that relationship with Afrexim Bank, who is spearheading this initiative with the government of the Bahamas. That will be a public-private partnership.
Well, PLP candidate for Fort Charlotte, Sebastian, hoping to make the community he intends to represent smarter. The Fort Charlotte Progressive Liberal Party candidate donating chairs and computers to the H. O. Nash Junior School, which is reserved as one of the best performing public secondary schools in the country. The donated items will sit in a new teacher resource center, which is aimed at making the items during delivery of instruction easily attainable and less expensive for the students to receive.
And the resource lab is where the teachers will go to prepare for their assignments for the students, build courseworks, tests, etc. And it's just basically the lab for the teachers. So this is a very important part of the day-to-day of operating the school. And we're happy to present these items to the school so that we can further the education of our students at H.O. Nash.
Bastian says he believes the donation will go a long way in supporting young students to become national leaders.
These are the future leaders of our country one day, and it all starts with this type of investment into the quality of their education. But if we don't get the thank you enough, we thank you for your service to the education system, and we hope that this goes a long way and making sure that our students have the necessary resources to succeed in school. We're making Fort Charlotte smarter.
If you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the Ion News hotline 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms, Eyewitness News Bahamas @gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We're just getting started in Eyewitness News tonight, but when we come back, it's a new freight terminal set to beautify Porter's Key Dock. We've got the details on that coming up. And later tonight, we've got more details on what is happening with BPL and their quest to help those in need. More on that right after this break.
I just found out that KFC has an irresistible promo.
Crunch into the juicy flavor of the new KFC Wrap Star, a classic made modern that's crunchy, melty, and grilled to perfection for all the journeys of your day. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Bahamian ownership in fly fishing is very important. Not only does it create opportunities for Bahamians, this is our industry, so we're proud of what we do. Opportunity is important. It's the story of my life, because with the opportunities, you can chart your own course. Prime Minister Davis and his team see the opportunities by providing these grants and what it can do for our country. It's just wonderful, and I'm glad to see these ventures working so that other people can get involved. This is real. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's help ourselves.
The world is changing. It's bringing new challenges, but also new opportunities. The truth is, our economy always left too many Bahamians out. Now we're opening new doors in agriculture, tourism, energy, entrepreneurship, providing grants, scholarships, national service, and upskilling. A new generation is rising, and we're finally moving in the right direction, building an economy that includes everyone.
Are you self-employed or have a small business that's looking for a faster, easier way to submit your C10 statements and pay NIB contributions? Sign up for the NIB C10 Easy Submit and Pay mobile app today. It's quick, secure, and takes just 5 simple steps. You will need a completed R1 business registration form and 2 forms of ID, a passport, voter's card, NIB card, or driver's license. Choose your role and enter your info, NI number, employer's NI number, name, and date of birth. Hit next. Enter your email. Check your inbox for the code, then type it in to verify. Upload the R1 form and your 2 forms of ID and tap submit. Track your application anytime by tapping check status. Once approved, you'll get your confirmation and PIN by email within 24 to 72 hours. Return to the app, tap register now, set your login details and enter your final code. That's it. You're now ready to manage your NIB contributions anytime, anywhere. Self-employed persons, small business owners, skip the line, save time. Download the NIB C10 Easy Submit and Pay mobile app today.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker. You're getting the cheapest tonight at Shell, $5.10. Also coming in at $5.11. Rubis, $5.12. Your local prices at the pump tonight. Well, a major redevelopment project is set to breathe some new life in a Porter's Key dock with $1 million passenger and marine terminal. It's scheduled to open in less than 2 months. Arlington Ritchie Jr. has the details in this report.
A $6.5 million state-of-the-art passenger and marine terminal set to open its doors at Porter's Key Dock in April as owners of D&T Shipping says the facility is a complete renovation from where the produce exchange once operated. Eyewitness News got a tour of the facility that is under construction from the Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, Jomo Campbell, alongside D&T officials. Principal of D&T Shipping, Gregory Stewart, explaining the motivation behind the renovation, noting it's a space where he and his father would sell their produce decades ago, which sparked his creative idea.
So the dream was one day, from my father's side, that one day we would be able to upgrade on this dock where all the passengers actually board vessels to go to the family islands. Is either you're sitting in the sun or you're sitting in a car waiting for the boat to depart.
Campbell revealing to the media that D&T has a 15-year lease on the government property with an option to renew. While there was no rental agreement inked, D&T Shipping says it's a public-private partnership as government owns the land and they're spending the funds to get the facility up and running. The passenger and marine terminal will include a passenger waiting area, a parts store for ships, and a 4-star restaurant. Officials recalling a time where Porter's Key attracted tons of locals and tourists alike, noting the new terminal will hopefully bring those memories back to reality.
We want to provide that experience to the Bahamian public again, but at the same time, tackling our food security bill.
Stewart says the revitalization of Porter's Key Dock will not only include the new terminal, as plans to beautify the space from the entrance to the exit is on the books.
We're going to raise the level from the road into this area. So we're going to help, the stalls out there.
Now, officials say the building will also have facilities for Porter's Key cargo vessels to store their goods and a seafood shop and market with your favorite seafoods all purchased from fishermen under Porter's Key. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Meantime, negotiations continue to address calls for an increase in rental allowances for members of the Bahamas Union of Teachers stationed on the Family Islands. Back in September, Union President Belinda Wilson calling for the allowance to increase from its current state of $700, while also lamenting that the process to apply for an increase is far too tedious. Lead negotiator in the Ministry of Education, Jillian Anderson, confirming that the ministry is in possession of a proposal but opted out of releasing specifics.
I can't recall right offhand, and I don't want to quote off the top of my head, but they did put something forward. We have started negotiations with the Bahamas Union of Teachers from last year. The negotiations are ongoing. There was a proposal put forward by the BUT, a counter proposal, and also the Ministry of Finance would have given their proposal in terms of the finances.
Meantime, the highly anticipated biometric voters cards are here, and with the presentation of a valid government-issued photo ID, Carmichael, Killarney, and St. James residents can begin picking up their long-awaited biometric voters cards as early as tomorrow. Biometric voters cards were first announced last year after legislation was passed in Parliament allowing for the replacement of the current purple handwritten paper cards. Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson giving the media a look at a sample of that card.
Beginning tomorrow, Saturday, the 28th of February, biometric voter identification cards will be available for collection at the headquarters of the Parliamentary Registration Department. On Monday, the collection center will move to the Kendall Isaacs Gym for collection.
According to Thompson, there is one condition, and that is you will not be able to collect that card on behalf of anyone else.
We will continue this rollout next week in West Grand Bahama, where biometric cards will be ready for collection at designated locations. Specific dates, times, and menus in West Grand Bahama will be announced to the public in short order so that residents can prepare to collect their cards in an orderly fashion.
Well, Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited reaffirming its commitment to supporting the health and well-being of Bahamian families with a $1,000 donation to the Sir Victor Sassoon Heart Foundation. It's continuing a long-standing partnership that helps provide life-saving cardiac care to children in need. The foundation has long been a pillar of hope for families across the Bahamas, stepping in to assist with the significant financial burden associated with specialized cardiac procedures often performed overseas. PPL's Director of Health, Safety and Environment, Xander Barnaby, sharing a deeply personal testimony of the foundation's impact shortly after the birth of her daughter. What appeared to be a routine recovery turned into a medical emergency.
She was 5 pounds, 12 ounces. She looked healthy, she looked fine, according to a pediatrician. And then she said, she sounds like she has a murmur. She started to become cyanotic. She became blue. She was bluing. And she actually had to have surgery when she was like 5 weeks old. I was very young. I wasn't working. I had zero medical insurance. And I was like, how am I supposed to pay for this? And the Heart Association came through for me.
Well, Public Relations Officer for the Sir Victor Sassoon Heart Foundation, Yolanda Fernanda, emphasizing the continued need for corporate and community partnerships.
We're always looking for people to take on our cause because every year we have 4 to 5, sometimes more children that may appear with heart disease or birth defects that need to be repaired. And that's why we always in need of extra funds because these surgeries are extremely expensive. $100,000 is a joke. It can cost you so much money. So anybody wanting to partner with us and give us extra money, we are eternally grateful.
So to come in Eyewitness News tonight, we hear from gospel concert headliner Chandler Moore hours before he's set to take the stage. We've got the first look, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
.5 is turning 8 years old. 103.5 The Beat and Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Beat Fest. It's a Bahamian musical experience on March 14th at The Pond. Doors open 7 p.m. sharp. Performing live, Shine, Stevie S, Mama D, Veronica Bishop, Funky D, all backed up by The Pond Band. Hosted by Joe Cools, 1K Gaza, and Jess Mo. Music by 103.5 The Beat DJ. Tickets available now at all Beauty Shack locations. General admission, $30. VIP, $75. Get your tickets early. Spots are limited. Sponsored by Mazzari International, The Plug, and The Beauty Shack. And of course, 103.5 The Beat.
The Fox Foundation proudly presents the keynote speaker for the 3rd Annual Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative, this March 19th at 7 p.m. at the beautiful Bahamas Resort. Get ready to be inspired by Randy Zuckerberg, tech innovator and the creator of Facebook Live. She revolutionized real-time digital engagement, empowering individuals and brands to broadcast instantly to global audiences. And now she brings that innovation and insight to the Fox Foundation's 3rd Annual Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative, March 19th at 7 p.m. at the Bahamas Resort. Under this year's theme, Give to Gain, join us for a night designed to inspire growth, spark opportunity, and strengthen the future of women in business.
Okay guys, this is what we doing today. We training for the bounce back. This $150K payday. Y'all ready? Yes. Y'all sweating today. Give me a 2 ball. 10. Give me another 2 ball. 15. You spin, right? It don't look so. There's 10K. Name these games after me. Food Dragon.
Food Dragon.
Cinema Classic.
Cinema Classic.
Yeah. Put that parlay in. Put that in. You know, Jalen Brunson disappointed us last time. You want to walk for this or you want to run for this? Good pace. Good pace. Not too much water. Put it down. Let's go.
It's the Bounce Back 150K payday. Big wins for 10 weeks straight. 15K every week. 10K to a lucky winner. Visit islandluck.com for more info. Island Luck. Winners live here.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. Well, at this hour, scores of residents are flocking to the Soccer Beach Stadium for the I Shall Not Want concert. Is being headlined by Grammy Award-winning artist Chandler Moore. A press conference being held today where reporters got an opportunity to speak with Moore about what concert attendees can expect.
You can expect a lot of energy, wear the right shoes. Don't come, you can come cute, but not, we want to have fun, we're going to dance. But you also can expect an experience with God. I think the amazing thing about the God that I serve and the God that we agree on is that he shows up wherever he's requested. And no matter if you're a believer, you can be an atheist. You don't matter if you're far from God, you can be close to God. It doesn't matter. But he shows up when his children ask. And I think tonight will be no different. I think some people are leave. If you have no hope, come tonight. I think you'll leave with hope. If you're tired and you're weary, sometimes life can just be heavy. You can come in the presence of God and you'll leave with the fullness of everything he is. Just as we sing together, he just shows up. So I'm excited about that.
While Moore is a contemporary Christian artist, he was asked whether we can expect a possible incorporation of hymns for the more seasoned concert attendees.
I had a worship leader growing up who taught me a lot that said, old songs gather, new songs push. And I've always been a believer that when you get in a space where you have multi-generations and multi-cultures, a lot of, not just Bohemians, but a lot of you guys come from different backgrounds and cultures and environments and songs and sonic space growing up musically. So I think it's important to merge the two, to meet the two. I think when you do it right, you'll see that hymns support new music. And a lot of, the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So even creatively and inspirationally, us as songwriters pull from that stuff. So tonight you'll get a nice mix, especially if I feel my mother's pulling on me. There a lot of hymns come out usually.
Well, still to come in Eyewitness News tonight, our Devontae Hanna has your latest check on sports. Good evening, Devontae.
Well, Janaea, it's a Friday evening. I won't do the BIM, but it's some pretty exciting news tonight. From basketball to track and field, we'll tell you all about the next competitive weekend and last night and even today, right after this break.
103.5 is turning 8 years old. 103.5 The Beat and Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Beat Fest. It's a Bahamian musical experience on March 14th at The Pond. Doors open 7 p.m. sharp. Performing live, Shine, Stevie S, Mama D, Veronica Bishop, Funky D, all backed up by the Pond Band. Hosted by Joe Cools, 1K Gaza, and Jess Mo. Music by 103.5 The Beat DJ. Tickets available now at all Beauty Shack locations. General admission, 30. VIP, 75. Get your tickets early. Spots are limited. Sponsored by Mazzari International, The Plug, and The Beauty Shack. And of course, 103.5 The Beat.
Hey, it's time to lock in your vote.
Your vote is your power.
With the new boundaries in place, you may need to transfer or confirm your voter registration.
And if you have never registered or didn't plan to vote,
don't get left out on one of the most important decisions of your future.
Make sure when election day comes, you're ready to say,
your say, your vote, your choice.
Eyewitness Sports is brought to you by 103.5 The Beat.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Devontae Hanna filling in once again for Laurentia Smith, and welcome to Eyewitness Sports. Well, it was Miller time in Kingston, Jamaica for Team Bahamas on Thursday night as Franco Miller and Tavario Miller led the team to a huge win in the FEB Basketball World Cup Americas qualifiers. The Bahamas held off Jamaica 99-96, a very close game indeed at the National Indoor Sports Center, picking up its first win of the first round of qualifiers. Franco Miller delivering a game-high 32 points, including 6 3-pointers. His biggest shot came with 55 seconds left when he buried a clutch 3 to give the Bahamas a 6-point lead. Tavario Miller, on the other hand, also holding a big night and scoring 22 points on a 10 of 12 shooting and pulling down 7 rebounds. The game was tight throughout with 8 ties and 14 lead changes. The win improves the Bahamas to a 1-2 in Group B, keeping their hopes alive of advancing to the next round. Team Bahamas will face Puerto Rico in San Juan on Sunday. The squad was led by head coach Moses Johnson, who had this to say after the game.
We know this means a lot for Jamaica. Being having the World Cup here for the first time, so we know we were coming into an environment, a heavy environment. But I want to give my hats off to these guys. This guy next to me hit some big shots down the stretch. He led the team. He was the consummate leader tonight. Everybody that came off the bench in the fourth quarter contributed, and with 15 lead changes, the game could have gone either way. But ball bounced our way, made a few turnovers down the stretch that cost us a bit, but we were able to pull it off. And that's what counts. So just want to thank God for the win, and now we'll build on this success as we move on to play Puerto Rico.
Well, shifting gears to the track, Bahamian hurdler Antoine Andrews is headed to the men's 60-meter hurdles final at the Big 12 Indoor Championships. The Texas Tech standard very easy out of the blocks and straight to the finish line, had an automatic qualifying spot after winning his heat in 7.73 seconds. Advancing comfortably into the final, Andrews was one of 3 Texas Tech athletes to finish among the top 5 times in the event as the Red Raiders continue their dominance in the 60-meter hurdles. The final is set for tomorrow, with Andrews looking to add another strong performance for Texas Tech on the Big 12 stage. We will be watching at Eyewitness News and across the country. Well, still talking some track news, the GSSA Track and Field Championships are set to get underway Wednesday at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. The 3-day meet, which runs from March 4th to March 6th, will feature junior and senior high school athletes from across New Providence competing for supremacy on the track and in the field. Well, day 1 begins at 9:15 with preliminary rounds of the 100 meters, starting with the Bantam Under 13 division and moving through the junior, intermediate, and senior categories for both boys and girls. The opening day is expected to set the tone for what promises to be another highly competitive championships as schools look to build momentum toward the final medal standings.
It is a proud tradition rich in history, legacy, and life-changing impact. For generations, this meet has served as a launching pad for young athletes, building discipline, resilience, character, and national pride. Many of our country's finest athletes began their journey on this very stage, and we are proud that our facilities continue to support that pathway to excellence. The stadium has recently undergone significant renovations and upgrades, ensuring that it's fully prepared not only for this prestigious meet, but for many local, regional, and international events that will follow.
And as you know, let's make it all clear here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pulling for the Government High School Magics at the GSSA Championships. But all the students are winners. But that's your look at sports. Once again, I'm Devontae Hanna. Thank you so much for joining us. More news is right after this break. Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At Investar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how. Everybody get up.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go, to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods, taste the difference.
Once something becomes the common behavior, it is the common behavior. When you operate at that level, personal emotions simply cannot float to the top.
For the average normal person that goes to the store, things like that affect us.
They must be judicious in the execution of their duty.
Well, I think whatever the nurses want, give it to them.
Hedges, you know, you do everything on your phone now. You see how old he is?
What are we walking back? That Bimini is no longer an island?
That's
okay,
not
because
what he was trying
because
to
he also.
say. Carla, I don't even know what breadbasket is anymore either. What do y'all even say?
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Well, that wraps up news this Friday and for this week. But coming up and Beyond the Headlines with Shanique Miller, it's a look at all of today's top stories and this week's hot topics. That's coming up and Beyond the Headlines. It starts right after this. That does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Nawal saying good night, be safe, and have a great weekend, everyone.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space? The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, a fight on the campus of Doris Johnson Senior High School looks like the wild, wild west. We have the video for you. Also tonight, the Coalition of Independence leader Lincoln Bain says if the COI is elected, he will give cabinet positions to union leaders. We'll hear more of his thoughts coming up. Also tonight, Week in Review Fridays. Marvin Dames in the news all week long. In the hot seat again tonight after his business partner was caught with 200 kilos of cocaine and hundreds of bottles of cough medicine. We talk about that. This is Beyond the Headlines, Week in Review Fridays. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. A disturbing video surfacing today showing a fight seemingly on the campus during school hours at the Doris Johnson Senior High School. Take a look at this video and then we'll talk about it. If there's some audio there, Justin, we can hear it and then we'll talk. Okay, so we must continue going. Yes, I hear you. Leslie and Ellington, by the way, welcome. Good evening to you both. Look at this video, you all. It is disturbing and disgusting that based on where our GPA is, the fact that these kids, these students, look at it, picking up chairs and throwing it at one another. This looked like a lunch break or perhaps one of the break periods where this huge fight is going on. It is quite disturbing and vexing because these are the same people in a few years when they graduate will go looking for jobs or being an absolute menace in society to disturb your life and my life and everybody else around them because they did this in school instead of applying themselves and trying to get an education. You all, let's dissect that. First of all, your response to that video that we saw a moment ago.
Shanique, it's sickening to say the least to watch young children carry on. I mean, like animals. I mean, I've seen dog fights similar to that. It's ridiculous. We must find a way to deal with this kind of behavior. First of all, before we deal with it, we must find out what's going on in the lives of these children. In their homes, what's happening? What kind of training is happening that young children can come out in public, feel free to do these things, knowing they're being videotaped, and to feel free that they can carry on like this. I think we need to come up.
No regard for the fact of maybe the principals soon come.
Adults
the
are
senior,
there.
Teachers, the security guard.
Separate. No regard for that. They just blatantly trying to kill this member, do whatever they can. We need to put things in place to deal with young people like this. We need to send a clear... See, the thing is, you must be deliberate in sending a message to the rest of them. You may lose this one or two, but let's send a clear message. We need to put things in place where we can have boot camp where you are not suited to be in the midst of the rest of the student body. You're going to go to boot camp. We're not going to cast you out and leave you to be a menace to society. But you're going to go to boot camp. You're going to learn trades, and we're going to train and discipline you. You have some educators and some persons with training from probably the defense force, not even the police force, the defense force, that would give them rigorous disciplinary training that you would get when you join the military or the army to try and curb these young men while they're young, because they're going to end up on the streets. They're going to end up carrying that same attitudes. They're going to be dead, or they're going to be killing somebody else. Okay, we must deal with this now, and so that when we get them on the streets, they're ill-equipped. They think everybody owe them something now that they're out and don't have an education, but they can't work for minimum wage because they can't live off of that. You have the opportunity now in school to develop yourself so that you don't have to go to minimum wage. But what you're doing, squandering it, doing some stupidness, trying to impress somebody else. Come on, man.
The question really, is when is enough enough? We have seen so many of these tapes, particularly with the Doris Johnson High School. It has to stop. We have to bring this to an end. It's sick that it's degrading to us as Bahamians, as parents, as grandparents, that every other week you see some nonsense with these children in school. You got to get rid of them. Because there's only a few of them.
Yeah, because you don't value your spot.
There's only a few of them that causes this.
People, no.
There has to be a better way. That's why you have all the guidance counselors, you have policemen on these schools. You see the reason why they need them. Because they act like animals, throwing chairs at people, and, it got to stop.
But what do you all called support.
You have to bring it to a stop.
In homes when parents are, because obviously the breakdown happens well before they walk on the campus of Doris Johnson.
Well,
what's happening in these homes?
The problem in the Bahamas is children having children. 17 years old, 16 years old, having children. By the time that kid is 12, the mother's not 30. She can't discipline them. Nothing she can do.
You think it goes a little even beyond the fact of children having children? Because I know some people that had children pretty young, and they did a good job raising their children, who was, in some cases, 15, 16 years younger than them, and they did a pretty good job in raising their children. But I have experienced, some of these adults would cuss you and tell you a thing or two in a hurry. And so these are the homes that these children are coming from. We have lost our way.
No sense of responsibility.
We have lost our way as a people.
You're right, because everybody on social media trying to outdo the next. Everybody, and they could say whatever comes to their mind and just.
And you hit it right, Shanique. You watch what happens on social media.
Absolutely.
And I was supposed to speak to
these are mothers and fathers.
In all of these political chats and these stuff, these people going at each other, telling each other the worst and the nastiest set of things about their children, about their wives, about their husbands and everybody else. And when I meet you, what I can do, that's where it begins at. Some of the parents of those same children will tell you, don't touch my child. If a teacher have to discipline any one of those children, you see there's some of those parents will tell them, they come to the school to fight the kid, finish the fight and take it to the next level. That is what we're dealing with. We need to be deliberate about turning our nation around. Both parents and children alike.
You know, it's easy to use words, and words are so easy to say, because how do you begin doing that? Number one, reintroduce corporal punishment. I don't care how out of style, out of date, how archaic it sounds. That's a part of what the solution is. And as Leslie said, and I need to get them out of the main school system. They don't appreciate it. They don't appreciate being there, so get them out. They are a distraction.
I taught, what's his name? The former Minister of Education. Had implemented a program. Then he went to Andrews.
Jeff Lloyd.
Jeff Lloyd.
That was quashed under the Free National Movement administration.
So why was that so? Yeah, that's right there. Yeah.
I remember that.
Because the PLP brought it into being. And once he became a minister, the program apparently died.
But why? You think that, it's just too
harsh? Like they kill everything else, eh?
Anyway, let's move right on.
And I think that was working. That was producing.
I thought it was, very effective. The Coalition of Independence leader, Lincoln Bain, met with members of the Trade Union Congress yesterday to discuss the coalition's plans for the labor movement if elected as the next government of the Bahamas. Bain, while not wanting to disclose too much of the conversation with the union head, said that one of the big ticket items that landed them a standing ovation was their plan to give a cabinet appointment to a union representative. Take a listen.
We think it's the beginning of a new direction for workers in this country. Moving forward, it's going to be about defending the workers at all costs. We know that that is our reputation. We've been doing it before we were in office, and we're going to continue to do it. But it is also about empowering the workers of this country. The days of slavery is over, and it's time for Bahamians to evolve into the owners of this country. And we're going to start with the workers of this country. And so that is the direction that the discourse is taking. No more will the government be able to flim-flam them and not fulfill promises. They will be in the know, and they will have a vote on every decision made in this country. We are going to commit to appointing through the Senate a head, and they're going to vote and determine which one of them it's going to be, because they have several umbrella unions. I don't think you can get any more empowered than that.
Now, of course, that meeting was only with the Trade Union Congress, which represents several unions, bodies including the Nurses Union, the Doctors Union, Immigration and Customs and Allied Workers Union. Bain says his team will meet with all the union sort of umbrella unions in the next few weeks to ensure that they are all on one accord. Well, Leslie in Ellington, your thoughts about this. Now, this Obi Ferguson, the one who met with Lincoln Bain this week, will tell you, boy, he had meetings even with this administration. They
They talked about and were happy initially about the record number of industrial agreements that were agreed to and signed and met on. But here is a political organization that's going further, one-upping everybody else. They plan to make a union representative a cabinet minister through the Senate.
Shanique, I heard him, and it's commendable that Mr. Bain is seeking to get union on his side. I think most political parties have done it in the past. That was one of the number one things that brought the Progressive Liberal Party to power, the union and labor. And the Progressive Liberal Party celebrates that to this day. However, I think you got to understand some mechanics and some things when you're talking about making union persons cabinet. What does that entail? What does that mean? Because number one, he talked about then no promises. Union negotiation with government is not based on promises. It's basically based on negotiating for the best deal that they can get for their workers. That means then that rather than stenching whatever when the union send their first draft, you sign off. You don't try to negotiate because you got them now in your cabinet. Additionally, when you put a union member in your cabinet, a cabinet minister unless he is, as long as he's in the cabinet, he is with the government. Now, when you have to start to go against cabinet, then you cannot be a cabinet minister. You should not be a cabinet minister. You should tender your resignation. Is that going to quiet the union, or that they cannot speak now that they're a part of the cabinet, or what does that? That has a lot of intricacies involved in it, and I'm not sure that is well thought of.
Why are you wasting so much time with a guy who's headed to the twilight zone? When the hell is Lincoln being ever going to get to Parliament? When is he ever going to form a government? Not in our lifetime or the next. So why waste time on these people? Go pay the woman the damn money. Do something meaningful, man, and get lost. I go door to door. I was out last night the whole week. Your name was never mentioned, not once. And I brought it up. I said, Lincoln, no? There was some people didn't get time to wait, you know. Bahamians are now getting serious about the political process. They're not going to waste time. Your group combined will not get 5,000 votes in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And I can put up $1,000 next week for you to get the woman the first 1,000 and having to pay her money back, please. So stop it, man. And these union leaders, who could believe such foolishness? You all should get on that same flight to go to the twilight zone, all y'all. Zip it.
Leslie,
get ready.
Leslie, you
give me a headache, man.
I love your bets, because remember, Leslie.
Yeah, you said to take it all my money.
I did. I will take your money. That's what I want to do. Take your money, because you want this bet in the by-election of Grand Bahama.
Yes. And we won.
Who won?
Us. I won the bet.
He won the bet.
I remember.
He had to pay me.
Yes, you had to pay out. You had to pay out.
Leslie, because I think your bet was they wouldn't get 1,000. Okay, you started.
They wouldn't get 300.
I think he said 1,000. I don't remember. All I know, Leslie, you said 5,000. Right. Okay, Leslie. Okay, I'll have your money on
this guy headed for the twilight zone, man, please.
But listen, so that's something quite interesting to think about and to keep in mind. I mean, there you have one political organization saying, listen, we will go one step further and
what political organization?
The union.
Why y'all doing this? You had to get in Parliament first. How the hell you form a cabinet without being... What word y'all live in? I mean, come on, man.
They have one seat, you know.
Where?
That's what Leslie don't seem to get.
Yeah, but they got it through the FNM, not through the CIA. What the hell? Let's see. Whatever.
Maybe the rest may come through the freelance movement.
This is Week in Review Fridays. We are back right after this. Stay close.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash. And you know how Superwash always have the latest and greatest model of washer and dryer? Well, they thought it's about time they get the latest supermodel as well.
Hey, wait a minute, Mr. Charlie Banana. Just because Superwash always changing and upgrading their machines, mean they gotta change those spokesmen. They got the newest washer and dryer, and they always upgrading all their locations. And these two models? Ain't got change. Superwash, they washes you, cleans you, presses you 24/7.
The race to 2026 is heating up, and the nation's voice is louder than ever. Here on Beyond the Headlines, we're checking the mood, the momentum, and the message of the people. I'm Shanique Miller. Each week, we're taking the temperature of the electorate to see what's really driving the nation. Who's connecting? Who's cooling off? What issues are heating up ahead of 2026? This is Temperature Check 2026, where journalism meets the nation's heartbeat.
Hey, it's time to lock in your vote.
Your vote is your power.
With the new boundaries in place, you may need to transfer or confirm your voter registration.
And if you have never registered or didn't plan to vote,
don't get left out on one of the most important decisions of your future.
Make sure when election day comes, you're ready to say,
your say, your vote, your choice.
.5 is turning 8 years old. 103.5 The Beat and Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Beat Fest. It's a Bahamian musical experience on March 14th at The Pond. Doors open 7 p.m. sharp. Performing live, Shine, Stevie S, Mama D, Veronica Bishop, Funky D. All backed up by The Pond Band. Hosted by Joe Cools, 1K Gaza, and Jess Mo. Music by 103.5 The Beat DJ. Tickets available now at all Beauty Shack locations. General admission, 30. VIP, 75. Get your tickets early. Spots are limited. Sponsored by Mazzari International, The Plug, and The Beauty Shack. And of course, 103.5 The Beat.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines, our Week in Review Fridays. It's great to have you all tuned in. Let's keep this moving. Freetown Member of Parliament Wayne Munro chastising the Free National Movement for leaving former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis off their 2026 election ticket. Well, this was a turn to hear this happening. Of course, this video has gone viral, being sent everywhere since, I think, yesterday. Munro's comments came as Dr. Minnis touted some of the work his administration was able to carry out while in office during a sitting of the House of Assembly yesterday. I think that was Wednesday. Of course, Week in Review. Munro went as far as to say he was disturbed by the action and that he believes the sitting members of the opposition ought to have come to the defense of Dr. Minnis when he needed it most.
I did not see St. Anne's when they denied Kalani a nomination, standing up and saying to his leadership that Kalani should have a nomination. I didn't hear any of them on that side stand up for Kalani, who in fact, and I'm not being gracious to him, but he gave all of them an opportunity. And what I find disturbing, and the Bahamian people should find disturbing, is a man who gave you an opportunity. You ought not to kick him to the curb just like that. Because if you do that to him, who activated your career, imagine what you will do to people who had nothing to do with you.
Now, those comments did not sit well with members of the side opposite, leading to a heated exchange between Munro and Deputy Leader of the Free National Movement opposition, Shenandoah Cartwright. I wish we had that soundbite to hear what Cartwright had. Okay, there it is.
For the man who gave them life, not to do that to him. And it's as simple as that. And as the old people say, Madam Speaker, how could you bite the hand that feeds you? And you know, Kalani won't do it, you know, because Kalani have too much class to do it. But St. Barnabas sitting next to him, he gave you the job, man. Why you ain't stand up for him? He gave you the job. You ain't stand up for him. You let them put him down.
You need to stand up for the police and make sure the police.
And I do that every day. I do that every day. Stop deflecting. Stand up. Stand up for the man. Stand up for the man who stood up for you. And stop running away. You're running and you're running and you're running away.
Leslie and Ellington, you know, it's sort of those in-between shenanigans that happens during parliamentary debates. But that video, though, that clip went, if I didn't receive that several times overnight and this morning, I didn't receive it once. Why do you suppose that message that Monroe had to say, or just that quick comment or observation, that people kind of grabbed hold of it and just kind of pushed it out there?
Shanique, the saga between the Free National Movement and Dr. Minnis will not just go away easy. It's a living saga. As long as Dr. Minnis is in the limelight, as long as the Free National Movement exists, and we're going into a general election, that will continue to remain. I think Wayne Monroe called the Free National Movement out on it. Shannon Dawn tried to speak to it. And it is an interesting set of situations that Mr. Monroe threw out there. Of course, Shannon Dawn Cartwright didn't directly address it. He deflected to some other issue that they had about Monroe assisting him. But I would have loved to see the Free National Movement kind of fight back at that, because that is kind of interesting commentary. That's very interesting. I would love to see them give more fight back at that narrative that Monroe put out there.
Well, you know, the long lives out now with the Free National Movement, Dr. Minnis. And once he accepts that position that he's an independent candidate, they're going to try to slaughter him. Even the men that he appointed and women to his cabinet don't want to part him, because why? They stand a chance, they believe, to getting something done and perhaps winning the government, and they see him as an impediment to their flight to try to get something. And that's just show you how difficult these guys could be to someone who has put them at a major step in the country. They would mash him up. You know, they just hate him. You know, if they hate him that much, what do you think with the average fellow who can't fight back? They'll slaughter us. That's why I tell you I'm scared for my cousin.
Now, come on now. The organization, which is the FEB, and I'm not a spokesperson, I'm just saying their thing is, listen, hold on. Dr. Minnis, of course, we know he's a formidable member of parliament, very well liked, highly visible, working hard, all that. So they see that as, why would we do anything, especially at this moment, as the election is so near, for somebody who really truly can be a distraction for where we want to go. This is what they're thinking.
They don't want to hear from the competent authority.
Shanique, I don't see where a Dr. Minnis as a member of parliament could have distracted. I think the Free National Movement already demonstrated with their leadership bid. Minister Michael Pintard convincingly won. He was the leader. I think a former prime minister that wants to continue on to his membership, he's very popular in his community. I think he should have been allowed to run as a member of parliament, even if he did not want to be involved in the day-to-day operation of whatever the workings of the party was. If he distanced himself, I think he should have been allowed that. He should have been allowed that courtesy, and the Free National Movement today would have been in a better place to challenge the Progressive Liberal Party going into this general election. All of these unnecessary other fights you would not have had. That fight that you fight, Dr. Minnis in Kalani, has sparked fires across the constituencies of the Bahamas as it relates to supporters of Dr. Minnis. And then, so now it creates an ongoing saga that will never end.
The problem is...
Look, I could understand if, I let you go now, I could understand if persons like the Reese Chipman, the Vaughn Miller, the Michael Pine, and those who were arguing and who were stating their dissent, their disagreement in the party, I could understand that. But these other persons, they acted like all was hunky-dory. I mean, hey.
Listen, whenever you have a general election and the leader loses the election, he normally demits his post and he allows others to take over. I think it'd be beneath the dignity of the office of the Prime Minister, and really, as humble as I could get, that you would have been to the mountaintop. You had the privilege of running a country called the Bahamas. I don't know why you want to go back in that forum in a position where you have no power as an independent, no say. You can speak on behalf of your constituents. You don't get much. Why would you want to take the beating that they're going to put on you for what they perceive you would have done to them, even though you made them cabinet members? He's in a difficult place. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's their problem.
Maybe he's committed to serving his constituency. He
think
loves
so
his
too.
constituency.
I
They
think
loves him, and he's committed to them, and he's prepared to serve them for at least another term. Maybe that's it. Maybe he doesn't need to be prime minister.
That's a noble thought. That's a noble thought.
Well, listen, you all. I want to say today. We talked about it last night, and so I want to say as a follow up this evening that the employees of the Grand Lucaya, you know, there's been some sort of standoff for a minute now with them receiving their pay.
And they got the money?
Yes, today. They
It's
got
happening.
it. They got it today. I think that's just some good news to kind of insert in there as we go to another story that was trending all week from Grand Bahama as well, and that is the 30-year-old attorney. Well, sort of. The man who was dressed as a woman, who presented himself as a lawyer. And had clients and everything else. I don't know if he ever made it into an actual courtroom in Grand Bahama, but certainly this man presented himself as an attorney. Justin, we have that photograph. You know, you're
man, not the woman you meant.
He presented himself as a woman, then as a man, then as a woman again, with lashes and brows and high heels and it's Grand Bahama.
Guys is watching TV, man.
I just want to know what was going on. That's all I want to know. What was going on? And that's all. That's all. You know, guys, this was quite the funny moment all week. Truly, that people just were shocked, yes, but also had something just to kind of exhale over. Look at them have nothing to say. Okay.
Oh, I thought you were showing the SOT. Oh, I am just thinking. I mean,
There's no SOT. I told Justin to put that video.
I am actually in this moment. Dating has become difficult.
There's the gentleman. There's the gentleman. Leslie, see, you get caught up.
Leslie, you can get tricked.
Leslie, you have gotten fooled before.
Now, my question is, how many guys she tried to sleep with?
Well, that's what Glenroy said. That's what Glenroy said. Glenroy said.
That's the question.
This has made dating a really challenging thing because you don't know who you're saying hi to or who you're going out with. And for him to take it to that level to, number one, impersonate an attorney, which he probably did a good job because he got clients, and to impersonate a woman and to create a female image that looks so beautiful. A beautiful looking young lady.
Mrs. Roll.
If you want to call it that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. AI and these kind of stuff scared me.
Listen to me. Stay single. That's it.
Yeah, I think so.
Or stay home. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That reminds me of when I was in college. And we were in Chicago one time, in Michigan, Cobo Arena for the NC2A indoors. We had this guy named Jackson, one of the fastest men in the world back then. And we heard this commotion. We went to this club. And the guys warned us, saying, now listen, once you meet in that club, you ain't gonna be what you think. Nice
Leave it there.
But really look good, right? You dancing with it when you're hugging and they squeeze in your
Smooching it here and there.
When we look back, we have a damn fight in that room. They was killing each other, police came. The fella want to know who could be who. So you imagine this guy in imagine what he used to do. He's a woman one night, he's a man the next night. And he was able to get away with it. I'm glad he gave me 4 years.
I'm going to tell you something, Shanique. A friend of mine.
I think Glenroy said they should have charged him as the man he is and as the woman he was trying to be. They should have charged him on 2 separate accounts and to serve concurrent sentences. Yeah, that's
Shanique, that is so prevalent. A lady friend of mine called me and she said,
in the Bahamas?
She's right here in Nassau. She said, Fergie, look here. And she saw me and said, wow, these are some beautiful ladies. And she burst out laughing at me. These are ladies, these are not pictures from the internet. These are local Bahamian young
women. I mean, men. Wow,
men.
Dang.
And I'm saying these are beautiful ladies. And she laughed at me. She said, those are all men. And they're moving around here every day, every
Dressed as
night.
women.
Dress like women, look like something you want to take on your arms to go out to dinner at night.
Fellas, be careful.
I ain't dating no more.
You bet not. Don't play around. Leslie, I ain't hear you say
I'm
that.
done. The pot cake finished. You ain't gonna argue with me.
Leslie, okay then. Okay,
I'm done.
I hope this.
Done.
But speaking of, you better be
Done.
aware of these real women too,
Done.
because get this, y'all. A
Yeah.
42-year-old woman is facing charges after she allegedly threatened to shoot her landlord during a dispute over rent. Prosecutors say
Probably Stapleton Gardens.
Lauderson
Road
Road went to a Pine Yard Road apartment on February 15th to collect rent from Rosemary Brown. It is alleged that Brown told Rose she didn't owe him any money and threatened to blow his brains out. Brown denied the allegation when she appeared before Magistrate Abigail Farrington. She was granted $5,000 bail, and the matter has been adjourned to April 22nd for trial. Now, you all know this is no matter to play with, because remember the husband and wife who either threatened or actually ended the life of a landlord in Grand Bahama?
Yes. Just a few months ago.
Just a few months ago, ended the life. Listen, man, if you all can't afford, and we know rent is a different matter in the Bahamas, but that's still
It's not your place.
Your place to try and take matters into your own hands.
No.
You got to bring down the cost of rent.
You don't bring down no cost. These people, because you know what Bahamians are habit of doing? Breaking up your place. When they finish, they're done with it. That's why so many landlords are now turning their properties into Airbnbs.
Yeah, they are. Stapleton Gardens full of them.
Airbnbs?
Yes.
Airbnb. So you see Airbnbs, and it's just disgusting. Of course, we will see how this plays out, but we're speaking generally of exactly what the habits of Bahamians are, what took place, unfortunately, in Grand Bahama. And so, again, just a few months ago. And so just very troubling, this whole matter of rents, and you have to rent, and you've got to respect the landlord. If that apartment is above your means, get out. And then you can't live there and not pay the rent.
Yeah,
you know?
We got to tone down the rhetoric in this country. I mean, on both sides, tenants, you in people's place, you either pay the rent, or, I mean, at the most, if you don't have it at a particular time, you talk to your landlord and you ask for leniency or mercy to them to give you a couple of days or whatever it is. And if they decide not, you can't fight, you can't shoot, juke up and chop. You can't do that. And on the other hand, landlords, you have to be gracious to your tenants.
Gracious. Do you understand landlords? Do you understand that landlords too have financial commitments?
Hear me out. There's some situations on both sides. Make sure that these places are in good condition, and make sure that the tenants are well served and that you handle them in a proper manner. And we got to tone down the rhetoric and how we go at each other in this country, man. Slow down.
Absolutely.
Everybody want to chop somebody, want to juke somebody. Come on. We still want to kill out one another and we going to blame somebody else for it?
Absolutely. Well,
be careful.
When we come back after this break, we will look at perhaps the biggest trending story of the week. And of course, that is concerning the Mount Moriah candidate, Marvin Dames, former senior police officer, highly regarded, highly respected, in the middle of a firestorm, really, as a result of something his business partner has been caught up in. Beyond the Headlines is back right after this.
The Fox Foundation proudly presents the keynote speaker for the 3rd Annual Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative, this March 19th at 7 p.m. at the beautiful Bahamas Resort. Get ready to be inspired by Randy Zuckerberg, tech innovator and the creator of Facebook Live. She revolutionized real-time digital engagement, empowering individuals and brands to broadcast instantly to global audiences. And now she brings that innovation and insight to the Fox Foundation's 3rd Annual Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative, March 19th at 7 p.m. at the Bahamas Resort. Under this year's theme, Give to Gain, join us for a night designed to inspire growth, spark opportunity, and strengthen the future of women in business.
Okay, guys, this is what we're doing today. We're training for the bounce back. This $150K payday. Y'all ready? Yes. Y'all sweating today. Give me a 2 ball. 10. Give me another 2 ball. 15. You spin, right? It don't look so. It's 10K. Name these games after me. Food Dragon.
Food Dragon.
Cinema Classic.
Cinema Classic.
Yeah. Put that parlay in. Put that in. You know, Jalen Brunson disappointed us last time. You want to walk for this or you want to run for this? Good pace, good pace. Not too much water. Put it down. Let's go.
It's the Bounce Back 150K payday. Big wins for 10 weeks straight. 15K every week. 10K to a lucky winner. Visit islandluck.com for more info. Island Luck. Winners live here. Is turning 8 years old. 103.5 The Beat and Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Beat Fest. It's a Bahamian musical experience on March 14th at The Pond. Doors open 7 p.m. sharp. Performing live, Shine, Stevie S, Mama D, Veronica Bishop, Funky D, all backed up by The Pond Band. Hosted by Joe Cools, 1K Gaza, and Jess Mo. Music by 103.5 The Beat DJ. Tickets available now at all Beauty Shack locations. General admission, 30. VIP, 75. Get your tickets early. Spots are limited. Sponsored by Mazzari International, The Plug, and The Beauty Shack. And of course, 103.5 The Beat.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's Weekend Review Fridays. We're looking, of course, at the stories that made headlines this week, a lot of which had and still has or have many of you talking, discussing, paying attention to, giving your own opinion and spin to. But here we just try to stay in the middle and present the story as it's presented to us. And that is the story of former Minister of National Security, Marvin Dames, being caught up in a firestorm. You all have seen the headlines. You've seen any number of variations of the story. But really, the story is that his business partner, as he is put out and said, has been caught up breaking the law in the United States as it relates to drug trafficking, I think it would be called, drug trafficking, drug smuggling. And that person now, of course, is in U.S. custody. But Dames is tied to it because he admitted it's his business partner. And also it's been discovered that the boat that the gentleman was using to transport his business is registered to Marvin Dames. And so he's really caught up in a whole lot. And people have any number of ideas and opinions as to what should happen next. Leslie and Ellington, your thoughts on how the story has really taken hold of the headlines this week, so many moving parts to it, and also a lot of the narrative out there.
Without imposing or trying to direct any guilt to Marvin Dames, I think this is a major distraction for the Free National Movement. I think they need to look closely at how they deal with this, because the gentleman has been charged in the U.S. District Court, I think, yesterday. This is going to be an ongoing thing with elections looming just in a matter of weeks or months. This is going to be a serious distraction for the Free National Movement. I'm surprised at this moment that Marvin having stepped aside in the interest of the party so that he don't be that distraction for the party at this moment. He's still a young man. He can come behind later if he decides that he wants to run with the Free National Movement again. But I think right now, with a general election looming so close, Marvin should step aside while this is dealt with, because this is very close. Not only is this his business partner, but the boat is specific Marvin's boat. And so this is a very, very serious matter. We don't know what direction this case is going to take, what the investigations are going to unravel. And I don't think the Free National Movement should be trying to go into March in the general election with this monkey on their back.
This is the most unfortunate situation that has occurred in our country by way of bringing drugs through the Bahamas. And I think the boldness and veracity of the gentleman who got caught, he's likely to serve life in prison, the Guardian indicated this morning. You know, it's unfortunate that a former minister in the government, and a very senior minister who is responsible for the defense of our country, would have gotten caught up in such a situation. The first question you ask yourself, why would he be associated with someone of this caliber? I mean, he's a decent human being. I love him. And he has a family that has to be dealt with, I think. Mr. Ingram is going to have to be the one to make this call, because I see Mr. Ingram as the conscience of the Free National Movement. No, he will step to the plate as the titular head of a party that he brought into power back in 1992. He would be very forceful in saying that the right thing is done. I think at this junction, the only right thing is really to have him not to participate in the upcoming general elections. It's not going to be a good thing for the party. It's going to be a stress, very strain on his family. He really should sit this one out. That's my humble opinion. But I respect him as a man and consider him to be a friend. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. Serious questions tonight over how fraudsters are managing to get their hands on Bahamian passports. With public confidence on the line as it relates to this, and officials facing even more scrutiny, the Department of Immigration says it is now moving aggressively to close gaps and strengthen oversight. We get the story from Jose Etienne.
Passport fraud continues to raise serious concerns about the integrity of the Bahamian passport and the system designed to protect it. With the issue now under a microscope, Immigration Director Stephen Larota says steps have already been taken to strengthen oversight.
We have an officer assigned to the passport officers who was able to screen those documents, anything that's a little suspicious or of concern that's issued by the Department of Immigration that's being used over there. They'll be able to verify and confirm that it is issued by us or not issued, citizenship in particular.
The move comes after a Haitian man was sentenced for passport fraud, a case that investigators say involved fraudulent documents being used to obtain a Bahamian passport.
We became aware of intelligence about fraudulent documents and forged documents that are out there in the wider community that are being circulated. And in some cases, we are aware that documents purported to be from the Department of Immigration is finding its way in the hands of some unscrupulous people. They're using those documents and to go to the passport office, in some cases, and acquire Bahamian passports.
What remains unclear is how those documents are being produced and whether any insiders are assisting in the scheme.
I've seen some stuff that we have already done, and it's out there in social media. We've had dismissals that have not made social media, and we have a number of ongoing investigations regarding to allegations made against some of our people. Not a lot, a handful, and we're actively investigating those matters.
And those matters have to do with passport fraud?
Those matters have to do with fraud in general, so it may include passports.
Larota, who has been at the helm for 7 months, says he's taking a zero-tolerance approach to any form of corruption within the department.
Where I find that there's malfeasance taking place, we do our proper investigations and we do what we have to do, whether it's taken before the courts or dismissal. The law is not oblivious, and we are not accepting anybody in this organization doing anything that's untoward.
As the investigations continue, the broader issue here remains safeguarding the credibility of a document that represents national identity and security. Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Well, you all heard there. I mean, this is the first time we've heard the Director of Immigration speak out, and necessarily so. We've been waiting to hear from him to say something, because truly the Chief Passport Officer has been the only one really talking and vocal out there, talking about the stopgap measures the Passport Office has in place to detect fraud and the various security measures. But you all heard him say a moment ago that there have been dismissals from his department for persons found to be, I guess, committing fraud or somehow facilitating this action. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Shanique, the reporter, talked and asked him about documents that are circulating out there from the department. And he talked about there has been dismissal. There are those documents that they've been seeing. And I'm hoping that dismissal is just his statement of the initial process of it, because I believe we need to do two things. This is our national document. This is our national ID. This has us in a situation now where people with these documents have traveled to other countries and now giving us a bad name. A lot of these people may end up back on our shores as criminals. And so we need to, number one, I think our legislators need to look more seriously at this document, and whatever the fines are, I think we need to strengthen them. Whatever the penalties are, need to be strengthened. No one need to be dismissed who is found to be involved in these illegal documents from the passport office or immigration dismissal.
Listen, I would speak up for the passport office. This gentleman has appeared on this show several times last year, as you all remember.
Yes, he did.
And he said anyone found afoul of the law, they are directed straight to the police.
Absolutely.
So I would hope that this happens as well in the
from the immigration. We need not to play with this. We need to take this serious. Our country's identity, our country's soul is at stake with these people that are doing this. And I'm talking about Bahamian and foreigners. Whenever you find a foreigner, how you get this? Where you get this from? Okay? And we need to make sure that we're dealing with these things. I don't think we have been dealing with them adequately. That's why people feel that they can just do it.
Listen, just a few weeks ago, 2 Haitian young men were charged before the courts for having fraudulent Bahamian passports. They got 3 years. So we ain't serious to begin with. How the hell do you get 3 years for duplicating a Bahamian passport? Other places in the world you get life or 20 years. You get 3 years, so the other fella in the back of him do the same thing. The most I can get is 3 years. But what, 5 or 10 times I may go free. I mean, listen, the whole system, years and years ago, I'd say 40 years ago, it's a young guy that all of us went to school, maybe 50 years ago. He was caught with issuing a false document. And he never recovered that because there was such a disastrous and sinful thing in our mind as young people that one of our Bahamians could have done that. Today, you didn't even hear about it. Just like the gentleman said, he said some have been dismissed. We don't know who the hell they are, but they are among us. You think if they did it then, do you know the system is doing it now? Absolutely. Come on, man, the public has the right to know. Unless we get serious with protecting what is ours, they're going to take it from us. So let me say, if you want to fight for your country, you don't deserve it. We got to step to the plate and fight. Absolutely. And those who contravene our laws to that extent should get a minimum of 10-year sentence. The lady in Freeport, 3 ladies and a guy was providing these same things to someone in Florida, this pastor.
Yes.
They get, 6 months? I wouldn't even talk about it.
Yeah, we have got to show that we are serious.
First of all, they shouldn't be getting citizenship. We should put a stake on citizenship and give
residency.
Why can't you do it? Somebody please explain.
Citizenship.
Why can't it happen? Stop giving out citizenship.
Like it's done on cheap corn feed.
Okay? Stop it.
I agree.
And any party who needs that to win an election shouldn't be the government of this country, as far as Leslie is concerned.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't be the government.
Yes. Gentlemen, I thank you both very much. Always listen, if you all think any kind of skewed discussions be happening here, as you can hear, their own opinions, their own thoughts, and they call it and tell it and say it like they see it. It's as simple as that. This is your #1 spot for election 2026, the entire campaign season. Right here, we have so many things in store for you. You just continue to tune in each week, each night, and let's have a wonderful time and a great, sensible, sober discussions as we move towards the general election. Gentlemen, once again, thank you both very much. Thank you also for being here this week. I want to thank all of you for hanging out all week long. It's been awesome having you here, and I look forward to seeing you right back here on Monday evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Everyone have a blessed weekend.
Please be careful.
The Verizon Media Group, home of ILTV, Paramount Systems Limited, Eyewitness News, and Beyond the Headlines.